Rightio, so today we're going to just run over how to glue, cut and put together one of the new One Paddles. So super easy, should probably take 5 minutes at the most, but let's run over all the little steps and all the tools you'll need to do this. So first off, the glue, it's just you can use a permanent glue for if you really want. I prefer just to use a 5 minutes epoxy. Hopefully you can see that there. It just allows you to get it off eventually if you ever do want to get it off. And if it does come undone, it's easy enough just to re-glue it down the track. You know, it might be 1 or 2 years later. You'll need something to mix your glue on. You'll need something to mix your glue. A little bit of powder. So you don't need much of this. This is like just a Q-cell, which I just use to thicken the glue up a little bit, which is mainly for the blade end. You need some electrical tape, a bit of sandpaper, and a hacksaw. So obviously you've got your 3 parts for your paddle, your blade, your shaft, and your handle. So we'll start gluing the blade end onto the shaft like that first. All right, so let's get straight into it. Okay, so basically you want to mix, it's a 50-50 mix. So, and you don't need to go crazy, make big piles of glue. It doesn't take much glue to do what we need to do, because all we need is a thin layer of glue around the whole end here. And let's get some glue out and get mixing. So that's more than enough of that one. And basically just want to make the same looking size pile. Easy as that. Get your little mixer. Mix the two together. Try and mix them as well as you can. And so this is 5 minutes, so it's not going to go off in 30 seconds, so it gives you a little bit of time to work with it. Once you've got it pretty well mixed, just push in a little bit of powder. Don't need huge amounts of the powder, it's just to thicken it up. I like it, just makes a little more strength down the blade end. So make sure you get all the outsides, push it into the middle. And basically what you want is just a little bit of paste. See if you can see this, where it's still nice and runny, it's just thick enough, like so. All right, from there, we grab our blade end. Let me put it in the right hand so I don't make too much of a mess. Scoop it up, and you want to cover the whole lot. You don't want it too thick because it's not going to fit anyway, it's just going to push out. So just a nice thin coat is all we need. And just work it around until everywhere is covered. You want to cover the whole lot, you don't want to leave any voids, because the voids are what the water will go down if it can find a way in there, and you'll get water inside the shaft and you have to start again down the track. So if we get it looking something like so, that is perfect. Grab your shaft. Basically you want to slide the two together. Don't just jam it on, just slide it in. Make sure it's over the cardboard, because you will get probably a big run that runs out. Just twist it on nice and gently. You can rotate it over the other way. More glue we get in there, the better. All the way down, right down until it's nice hard up against the other end. Big blob of glue will just run off like so. And just twist it. Now right now you'll have a bead of glue running around the edge there. You can get a rag and wipe that off now if you want. I actually prefer to just leave it on there, and either just leave it on and tape over it later, because the more glue you've got there, the less chance you ever have of getting water inside your blade end. Right, so that part is done. We'll let that dry. Let me grab one we glued just a few minutes ago. So this one is all nice and glued now. It's got a little dry bead there. As long as you get it fairly soon after when it's just drying, you can actually pick this off and pick it and it'll just peel off nice and neat as we go around. I don't want to wait too long because it does dry pretty hard and gets hard to do, so I'll leave that one. I've got another one just to make the video a little quicker. This is one I've done already. So it should look nice and neat, something like so. You can leave it like that. I actually prefer just to put a few nice runs of electrical tape around this end as well, just to cover the join. Also helps to keep any water out in case there is a small void or something. So just a small run. For some reason the blade ever comes loose, the blade just won't fall off and the tape will hold it in place anyway. So just like so. All right, so blade end done. What we want to do then is we want to work on cutting it for the handle. So one thing to allow is the handle top piece is 7 centimeters from where the shaft will come up to the top is 7 centimeters. So when you're cutting the paddle for the height, make sure you allow that 7 centimeters. So when you cut the paddle, obviously it'll determine on whether you're surfing, racing as to the height of your paddle. That can probably already work out. You want to basically find your height, get your tape, run your tape around the shaft. You can see I've already taped this one here. All right. Now when you cut it, I recommend that you cut with basically using a hacksaw and cut on the top of the tape first. Get rid of the long excess and then basically come back and cut in the middle of the tape as your final cut. What that'll do is it'll just allow less chance of splintering. So there's nothing worse than cutting it and then having that long piece fall over and splinter the carbon. Kind of a bit of a pain. So get rid of that piece first, cut on top of the tape, and then come back and just do like it's only another centimetre or so, cut that down to where you want it. If you do get a little splinter, that's what your sandpaper's for. Basically just skip the sand and then just sand any splinters off and it'll be super easy and you'll never notice them. So I won't cut this because I haven't quite got a height yet for this one, but once you've have cut it, gluing it is exactly the same. Don't need to use the powder though. So just mix up the two glues, cover the whole end again. Same thing, slide it in. You can twist it in nice and neat and gentle until it goes all the way down. This time, don't forget you must line the handle up with the blade to make it straight. You don't want to just put it in there on a big crooked like that and paddle along sideways. Put the blade under something gently and just twist it. Keep twisting it, looking down it until you'll see it when it's straight. Once it's straight, put it somewhere out of the way, let it dry. Do the same thing, tape up the join, and you are good to go. Easy as that. 5-minute job, done.